It's Wednesday, October 30. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness visited the Clancarthy Primary School in the wake of a tragedy in which 7-year-old student Benjamin Bear died. He was crushed to death after a garbage truck at the school, which was reportedly unmanned, rolled forward, hitting a taxicab before overturning, pinning little Benjamin underneath. The Prime Minister says, separate and apart from the investigations being carried out by the police, there is an obligation on the part of the government.
From a policy point of view, we have a duty to ensure that these things don't happen again. So from a safety and security perspective, all Jamaican parents should feel that their government will do what is necessary to ensure the safety of their children while in school.
Mr. Holness says consideration is already being given to a number of strategies,
such as setting collection times that do not overlap with school times, ensuring that there is a service level standard set in the contracts for garbage collections so that you can regulate the state of repair of the trucks that are used to collect garbage, and many other areas that I think myself and the Minister of Education and the Minister of State will look at along with the technical professionals of the Ministry of Education.
National Energy Solutions, NESOL Limited, is set to be officially closed on Wednesday, but workers will have to wait until the end of November to receive their termination payments. NESOL was one of several agencies under the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, which became embroiled in controversy over reported breaches of government procurement guidelines last year. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced in December that the agency would be shut down and its functions subsumed into the parent ministry. The Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Audley Shaw, wants farmers to cooperate with the Frosty Pod Rot Management Program agents. Frosty Pod Rot is an airborne disease that can easily spread from one farm to another by the wind. The disease affects cocoa and it is caused by a fungus. Speaking earlier this month, Mr. Shaw noted that some farmers had been resisting efforts of the work of the ministry. The minister said the cooperation of farmers is important to reduce the effect of the spread of the disease in the cocoa industry. According to the minister, there are about 1,300 active cocoa farmers, and all stakeholders need to work together to secure the full resuscitation of Jamaica's valuable cocoa industry. Under the Frosty Pod Rot Management Program, approximately 225 hectares of cocoa have been pruned, benefiting 187 farmers, principally in St. Mary. The government has signed a new bilateral security cooperation agreement with the United States that will assist in fighting against transnational criminal activities. This was disclosed by Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, at Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives.
I'm pleased to announce that last week, Wednesday, October 23, 2019, we signed with our U.S. partners a new agreement which will satisfy the legal requirements of our Constitution and will provide a strong basis for increased cooperation and operationalizing all arrangements in fighting transnational criminal activity out of Jamaica.
He informed that a similar agreement with Canada should be concluded in short order. Chang noted that the agreement with the United States will be pursued with the full knowledge of the Cabinet.
We operate under a different protocol with the United Kingdom, which is also being finalized. I want to inform the House that this agreement with the United States was pursued with the full knowledge of our Cabinet. There was no secret arrangement, and we so informed the House today, having come to a conclusion.
He advised that the new agreement was necessary given the fact that early last year the Supreme Court found that the existing Memorandum of Understanding, which allowed for the use of intercepted information in prosecuting members of transnational criminal organizations, was unsatisfactory and inadequate. Chang noted that Protocol for Security Cooperation must satisfy the country's Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms that protects Jamaican citizens from arbitrary action. The company's Office of Jamaica COJ will be conducting a business process re-engineering exercise. Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Judith Ramlogan, said it's aimed at improving service delivery to clients. She was speaking at a JIS think tank meeting where she said that the exercise, to be undertaken in the next financial year, will be spearheaded by the Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Division in the Office of the Cabinet, with funding support from the World Bank.
As I said before, we do have a customer service unit which undertakes preliminary examination of documents, and then we have a business registration unit which undertakes a different examination, a more detailed examination. And really what we want to do is just shrink two into one complete examination.
Mrs. Ramlogan said the plan is to reorganize the COJ's customer service and business registration units, which are responsible for the preliminary and detailed examination of documents.
Our projected time is 2 days. We think we can do it in a day, but we really want to do it in hours. I think New Zealand might do it in 2 hours or so. And we really want to get to that place, but we do have to deal with the naming issues.
Principal Director, Modernization Program Implementation at the Office of the Cabinet, Wayne Robertson, said that the COJ's BPR exercise is in keeping with the focus on improving service delivery under the Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program. He said that service delivery is infused in every program and projects being developed and implemented by the PSTMP.
We got an email from someone who just called out this ministry. They said that they got, first call was 26 times, the second call to the department rang for 32 times. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And it's a prominent ministry. So we have to hold ourselves accountable, all of us, to ensure that we raise our standards and deliver higher levels of service to the customer.
Effective immediately, parents of children 12 years and younger can access free medical care at the University Hospital of the West Indies, the UHWI. This arrangement is part of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's response to increase in viral illnesses and consequent overcrowding at hospitals, usually seen this time of year, including the Bustamante Hospital for Children. Children suspected to have dengue, gastroenteritis, or any upper respiratory illness can be taken to the University Hospital, seen and treated by the medical team there. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bessessa Mackenzie says, quote, "Children and the elderly are among the most vulnerable groups, especially at this time as the country continues to battle with the increase in dengue cases and as the flu and gastro seasons intensify," end quote. Jamaicans are reminded to only take paracetamol and to visit the nearest health center if the illness goes beyond 3 days. The first symposium on archives and records management was held on Tuesday, October 29 at the regional headquarters at the UWI Mona campus. The symposium comes 54 years after the Caribbean Archives Conference held in 1965. The 3-day symposium is being held under the theme Caribbean Memory, Uncovering New Records, Discovering New Archives.
We are here to emphasize the need that the records of our creation today by the Caribbean people, for Caribbean people, are the archives of the Caribbeans tomorrow. We're also launching the text, Decolonizing the Caribbean Record, an archives reader, which not only chronicles the archival history of the Caribbean, but sheds light on the unique redefinitions and articulations of Caribbean records and record-keeping practices.
In his address on the opening day, retired government archivist John Aarons spoke of the need to safeguard Jamaica's official memory in the post-independent era. He pointed to an autobiography of former Prime Minister, the late Michael Manley.
The difference between this one and the is that the author is able to access the classified U.S. records from the White House, the State Department, and the George H. Bush Library, and records from Margaret Thatcher Archive, which is online. No Jamaican archival records were assessed, were used. And the Jamaican references were family papers, interviews with family, and articles, all important, but no official records were used. Whereas also able to get records from overseas about us.
He recommended a review of legislation related to Jamaican archives, noting that records are often shrouded in secrecy, destroyed by administrators, and withheld by record keepers.
The society has to be more vigilant. There's a public outcry when the government tries to increase the period to 70 years. We need a vigilant public to ensure that our records are available for those who want to see them.
At the opening day of the symposium, the first cohort of the Masters in Archives and Records Management program was presented. The 5 students are from Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and Antigua. Among the speakers at the symposium is Professor Donna Hope. She will address the symposium this evening. She'll be delivering a lecture on the dance hall archives in the foyer of the regional headquarters at the University of the West Indies Mona campus beginning at 6 p.m. The People's National Party's youth organization's president, Crystal Tomlinson, is set to represent the People's National Party in West Rural St. Andrew. PNP General Secretary Julian Robinson said the constituency conducted an evaluation exercise involving a number of aspirants and made the recommendation for Tomlinson. According to the party, Tomlinson faced the PNP's Integrity Commission before she got the nod of approval from the executive body. West Rural St. Andrew is currently represented by the Jamaica Labour Party's Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn. Abortions are only legal in Jamaica when a woman's life is at risk or to preserve her mental and physical health. That's according to the Offences Against the Persons Act. The debate on whether or not it should be fully legalized continues in government chambers and on the streets in Jamaica today.
No, well, I don't support the legalization. I don't support abortion. Because after abortion, I wouldn't be here. My kids wouldn't be here. So I don't think it should be legalized in Jamaica. No. Since, on the other hand, women have the rights to their body, but I don't think it should be legalized because it would get out of hand. Because without it right now, it's out of hand. So you can imagine if them legalize it.
Abortion is not a thing supposed to be legalized. It's not supposed to be happening, none at all. But then some people do it because many reasons beyond control. Sometimes some people have to. But I don't think it should be legalized. When you legalize, I'm going to take too much advantage of the situation and I don't see it necessary.
The country is almost overpopulated and it don't make sense to have a lady have all 4 or 5 and cannot manage her. So might as well, if them have how much children and them can afford it, them do it. Kind of makes sense to have the children and suffer and sugar and water you give them. That's not good for them.
No, that's not right. I remember about me there right now. Straight. I remember my 6 pin them. I remember think about them. So, matter of fact, I take run me out. I couldn't say about abortion. I remember that I'm pregnant and I not do it. I swear. It's against the law. Yeah. I'm a God-fearing girl, so I'm depend that to them.
I can't make a life say don't take one. Don't believe in it.
Well, I don't think that is right because God gives life, right? And it's not like it's blood that we are aborting, it's a human life. So I think it's not right. I think they should allow that.
I don't really support that. Enough of the doctor them say them do abortion. And eventually, them see a man kill you too. You understand? A reality check. I don't support that. You have the child. I don't support you. Have the child and you give it up for adoption.
That's not supposed to be legal because it's a sin, like killing an unborn child. It's a fetus inside you, so that's a sin. It's like murder, so that's not supposed to be legal.
No, when a lady get pregnant, she's supposed to bring the kid. Because enough women want to get pregnant and can't get pregnant. So why getting pregnant and dashing it away? You protect yourself from that then. Instead of you carry something on your woman, then after they go kill it. That don't make no sense. I murder that.
The US dollar on Tuesday, October 29, ended trading at Jamaican $139.29, up by 62 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. The Canadian dollar ended trading at Jamaican $109.64, up by $106.24. While the British pound sterling ended trading at Jamaican $178.18, up from $175.49. In regional news, 2 months after Hurricane Dorian swept through the Bahamas, the official death toll stands at 67.
The police on the island of Abaco recovered the remains of 2 unidentified bodies, one in Dunlastown, Abaco on Monday, the 28th of October, and one in the mud on Thursday, the 24th of October this year. This brings the total number of deceased persons recovered since the passing of Hurricane Dorian to 67.
Captain Russell also revealed tonight that the hurricane's missing persons list has now been decommissioned.
The missing persons desk has been deactivated. All inquiries should be made at the Criminal Detective Unit in New Providence and in Grand Bahama, and at the Abaco Police Station located in the government complex in Marsh Harbor, Abaco.
And while there remain 777 evacuees still living in shelters in New Providence, Reconstruction Committee member John Michael Clark also revealing that the Marsh Harbor International Airport can see its first international flight since the storm as early as next week.
We originally had this week targeted to open the Marsh Harbor Airport. That is highly unlikely. We're going to see if we can get it done within the next 10 days. But apart from securing the perimeter, we'd have to check with Civil Aviation to see what other protocols they have to abide by in order for the aerodrome to be open for use.
And when it comes to getting back in the groove of conducting business, Disaster Preparedness Minister Iram Lewis says the banking industry will see its way clear very soon.
Plans are underway right now for Royal Bank to move into the government compound area. And Commonwealth Bank, the local bank, and yes, the Bahamian Bank, we are very proud to say that they are pretty much up and running. So Royal Bank, they're making effort now to have their ATM machine, and they will have their infrastructure in place to allow commercial banking services in short order.
Political leader of the Progressive Democratic Party, PDP, Watson Duke, is making another call for Tobago to be granted autonomy from the mainland Trinidad. He says if his party wins the Tobago West and East seats in the next general elections, the island will realize its own government within 6 months.
The Progressive Democratic Patriots, PDP, are ready to rumble. The party addressed its supporters from a boxing ring at the Magdalena Grand Hotel and Beach Resort on Sunday, a sign that they are ready to fight for the Tobago East and West seats in the general election and the 12 seats in the Tobago House of Assembly elections in 2021. Political leader of the PDP, Watson Duke, said his main goal for Tobago is self-governance.
Next year will be 40 years since we are crying out for this self-government, self-government, self-government. So what self-government means? It means that we would have the right to determine for ourselves the things that matters to us. But I've spoken to all of them, and they're not willing to give it. None of them.
He urged supporters to give the party the 2 seats to make this years-old dream a reality.
We don't want Trinidad judicial system. We don't want that. We must have our own judicial system here. We must have our high court right here. Our immigration officers must come from right here. We don't want to share no immigration control with Trinidad and Tobago. We don't want to air traffic control with Trinidad. We must control everything.
Minority Councillor in the THA, Dr. Faith B. Israel, shared the same sentiments as Mr. Duke.
We want to have an opportunity to take this island to a place where when you are looking at your 10-year-old child now, looking at your 18-year-old child, looking at your 30-year-old brother and sister, we want to create an island where all of them could stay right here. They could stay right here and study because we have the University of Tobago.
The party launched its campaign under the theme People Before Politics.
In sports, we're on the field with football. Dintil Technical defeated Frome Technical 2-1 in their last group match in the quarterfinals of the Issa Water da Costa Cup at the Frome Sports Complex this week. The win put Dintil into the semi-finals of the competition. Dintil finished atop Group 3 with the maximum 9 points, 5 clear of Frome. Port Antonio High also finished on 4 points after their 4-2 victory over Petersfield High at Carter Park. And in more sporting news, Trinidad and Tobago's under-14 football team is celebrating a 3-0 win against Suriname in their latest match in the CFU Development Challenge Series. More from TNT News Report.
Once again, the TNT ladies started on the front foot and took the game to the Surinamese early. It would pay off as they opened the scoring when the darling of that 10-0 thrashing of Grenada, Brianna Smith, who started this time, took her chance well to open the scoring. The visitors offered little by way of offense, and everything was dealt with adequately by the defense and the keeper, Michaela Learwood, as TNT led at the break by a single goal. Just as in the first, TNT fired the first salvo in the second half, and then they would again benefit from some shambolic defending, and there was Talia Martin to capitalize and make it 2-0 to TNT. Martin wasn't done as she knifed her way into the area only to be tripped as she tried to go past the last defender, leaving the referee no choice but to award a penalty. Jamie Waldron stepped up and made no mistake as TNT led 3-0, and that would be the final score in this one, as TNT remained perfect with 2 wins from as many matches.
And that's the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Pleasant viewing.